Lecture 5.1. We are going to analyze the errors that were shown during the schematic transfer. You need to open your schematic and transfer your schematic to the layout. You can see a lot of errors that are shown during the transfer. First, we are going to focus on the changes removing pins from net. In this case, you can export your report into your hard drive. In this case, I created a PDF. Now, we are going to focus into J2. In order to search for the part, just press the J key and type J2. You need to know which schematic symbol or the name of the part. After you get the name of the symbol, go to your schematic symbols and open the part. On the part, you will see that there are some pin definitions. You need to take a look, and you can notice that there is one pin that it has two numbers on it. We're gonna fix that. Altium did not support adding two numbers, or I mean, it supports, but it needs to match with the footprint library. I will explain that later. In this case, just copy the pin and paste into the same location. Notice that I changed the length of the pin. Just rename the two pins. One is going to be the number 3 and the other one number 4. After you do the change, update the library to your schematic. Because I changed the length of the pin, I need to remove some connections. After you connect the pins back, go back to the transfer, but first maybe you need to make sure you save all your files. Additional to this, we need to make sure the pins on the schematic, if they are matching on the footprint. In this case, you can see 4 paths. This it's matching with the number of pins we have on the symbol. Let's go ahead and transfer again the schematic changes to the layout. Now, do you notice that J2 is no longer there? So we have fixed. Now we're going to focus on the component PB1. After you find the component, you need to know the library name. In this case, there is another way to find the component if you press Ctrl F. Play with the scopes to search on the entire project or on a single schematic page. In this case, we find the part, we get the library name. Now we are going to see how the symbol is made. When you are on the schematic symbol, take a look to the pins. Do you notice also the same situation as before, where pin 3, 4, 5, and 6 are on a single pin? Just copy the pin without changing the length and paste into the same location. After you paste 3 of them, now you have 4 pins on the same location. Just rename each one. One will be 3, next one 4, 5, and 6. Do an update schematic. Then on the schematic, you don't need to do any change because the pins are on the same location. So in this case, we transfer correctly and PB1 now it's disappeared. Now we're gonna move to look at the Q2. Get the library name, take a look to the footprint name, and open your schematic library. Go to the part. Notice that this part is divided into part A and part B. So in order to select each of the pins, you might need to move between parts. In this case, we're gonna duplicate D1. Do the same and paste on the same location and rename it. Move back to the sub part. In this case is part B. Copy and paste the pin and rename it. Rename just the pin D2. After you do the change, update the schematic. So in this case, Q2 didn't disappear. What we didn't did is to take a look to the footprint. Last time we were lucky because the pin numbers it matched with the paths. Take a look to the footprint name. Go and open the footprint library. Do you notice there is two D1s, but one of them is different? You need to make it match with the names you added in your schematic library. Just rename it D1 and D2. There is two D1s, two D2s. If you want to update the footprint to your board, you will get an error. This error is because the pin numbers or pin names didn't match with the pin names of the part that it is already used on the layout. In this case, we're gonna do a find similar and find all the parts that are the same. In this case, I'm gonna just pick the description. For doing this, you are gonna get selected all the components that are the same, and if you go to the layout, they will get selected automatically. In order to clean up, I'm just gonna enable the top layer and bottom layer. In this case, it's just the top layer because that's the site where the components are placed. You need to store the location of the parts because those parts needs to be selected from the layout because we couldn't update the footprint. So as soon as you get all the locations of all the parts, you need to select the part, and on a future step we're gonna transfer the new parts with the new footprint and we are gonna paste on the same location. This will allow us to do not have to change or modify the layout. They will be replaced on the same location. Select the two parts from the schematic and then just click delete and the parts will be deleted from the layout. If you do a transfer from the schematic to the layout, you will notice that Q2 is no longer there. So now There is a few tips or something that you might think. Sometimes we can change the footprint on the layout, but in this case, if we try to change the footprint, the software it not will allow us to do because the number of pins are different or the names. You can do that on capacitors or resistors because those use two pins and they are named the same. Now let's move on into Q3. Let's find Q3 and then we're gonna open the schematic symbol and see what's going on. Take the symbol name and open the library. When you are in the library, you will see a similar situation as we found on Q2. Just copy and paste the pins, in this case is D, rename it and go to part A or part B and then just duplicate the other pin and paste into the same location. After you rename it, you need to update your schematic library, same as we did before. Now, because we know we need to check every time we change a symbol, we need to check the footprint. Just go to the footprint and rename with the same names or numbers you use in your symbol. In this case, if you try to update again the layout, you don't will be able to do. We need to do the same. We need to find the part on the schematic and then move into the layout and see how many parts are on the schematic or layout. After you select the part or you know where it's located, you need to store the location, same as we did with Q2 and Q5. After you get the details, just delete the part. Save all the files and do a transfer. Now there is no more changes.